For those of you who remember, in October of 2019,
In April of this year, Jen and I broke a pretty massive story related to the Flint water crisis and the cover up. And the nuts and bolts of this story, we did it for Vice News, was that former Michigan Governor Rick Snyder found out was warned before the water was switched in Flint. A year before, he was warned that there would be health dangers if Flint was used as a drinking water source. The Flint River was used as a drinking water source. We also uncovered evidence that he first learned of the deadly Legionella outbreak in Flint in October 2014, 6 months after the water was switched, and 16 months before he told Congress he became aware. Why is that important? Because Legionella is a deadly waterborne illness, and it killed. The official number is low, but the unofficial number, probably hundreds of people in Flint died as a result of Legionella, which the governor, we learned, basically hid from the public. His administration, him, found out about it earlier in October 2014, a few weeks before he was up for re-election as a governor, and they shut down the information from going public.
you could never be too careful while investigating on a really, really, I mean, frankly, criminal story. So we did not publicize that we were in Flint. Only the sources that we were meeting with knew that we were in Flint. And we didn't go live from Flint. We were basically incognito in Flint for a couple, I'd say at least a week. So what started to happen, I would say around April or May, is we started to see, we started losing members, paid members. As you know, Status Coup's core business model is membership. So we started to lose members around, I'd say, April. I mean, it's normal to lose members on a daily basis. The normal, usually maybe you lose 2 or 3 sometimes a day. Just normal people canceling, credit cards being declined, this and that. But we started noticing in April, May, June, we started rapidly losing members. And we thought, all right, well, we're getting emails from viewers that I'm losing my job because of coronavirus, my hours are getting cut, all that. So we figured, that's why we were losing so many members, because of coronavirus. But then I would say, Jen, what do you think? In recent weeks, we noticed even more losses. We were losing 20, 30 a day, to the point where, last week I went on a walk. It was at our membership amount, our paid membership was at a certain amount. I came back 2 hours later. I think we were down 40 in 2 hours. So through the sheer power of the Coup community, Status Coup's audience, web developers reached out to us because we had been saying, we're kind of freaked out. We're basically hemorrhaging paid members. And although I know a lot of the audience don't like it, that we ask you to sign up as a member, we're a business and we have to make money. And our paid membership, Jen and I have worked 7 days a week for the most part for almost 3 years to grow that. We were almost at 2,000. So we were freaking out because we're losing 20, 30 members a day. And if we keep losing 20, 30 members a day, we're going under. There's no other way to say it. So, Jen, why don't you pick it up from there?
So, when you go on a walk like Jordan did, and you check before and you check after, and there's over a dozen members leaving. I think it was 20 or something at that time.
No, it was actually
wrong.
30.
Oh, okay, yeah. So it's a crazy number. Clearly there's something wrong. So we started we started to panic. And especially when we looked at the numbers from just a few months ago. We were on our way to 2,000 members, which is no small deal for a startup like us. And it just had gotten, we'll talk more about how many we've lost. It's just heart wrenching. It's horrible. So we we talked about it on air, and we had someone who was a viewer, but who also in Florida, in Vero Beach, Anthony Damasco. So if you're in need of tech help, definitely look him up. He's been amazing. So he reached out to us, and he was basically like, look, like we've worked a lot with this membership plugin that you use. Let me help you. So they've been fantastic. We've had multiple calls, and he's done a lot of work, a lot of back end work to figure out what was wrong. And, embarrassingly enough, we did not have tech people on our site. You guys have all seen our site. Our site is not good. It's clearly not built well. It's not visually appealing. We don't update it because of those factors. We don't have the funds, have not had the funds to beef it up to where it should be. So we haven't had the tech people on the back end either. Well, it so turns out that as soon as Anthony started looking at the back end of our site, it was throwing PHP errors like crazy. So I'm not techie at all. I know enough just to be dangerous and to plug leaks until the plumber comes, but that's it. So yeah, it was throwing errors like crazy. He was digging more and more. And then I got on the phone with him, and he was actually this is how dedicated he's been. He was actually in the grocery store. He was about to get his very young children. He was running all around. He was like, I've got to tell you this, you guys have been hacked. And he was like, obviously sites get hacked all the time. It's often random. There are people who just look for vulnerabilities, especially in sites based on WordPress, because there are so many common themes, so many common plugins. It's easy for these guys to just download the code and figure out ways to exploit these things. He's like, that's not what's happening here. He said that the hacking was intentional, purposeful, and malicious. So this is scary. And then he told us that it when it happened, so we were on HostGator, which apparently I had no idea. HostGator used to be the gold standard. So we were on HostGator, so he doesn't have the logs and the things he needs. It so happens that HostGator is no longer a good hosting company. They were bought out by this larger company, which is run in a shadow under Amazon, which is crazy and I don't like. But because of the fact that they don't keep logs in the way that they should, we don't have much information about this hack, who possibly did it, all of that stuff. The only thing that we do know is it happened on October 19th, 2019. What were we doing in October of 2019? We were secretly, we did not even tell you guys, we didn't tell anyone. We were in Flint gathering information that we were not supposed to have, that directly implicates the former governor of Michigan, Rick Snyder. We were finding information about his henchmen, literal out of a movie, mob guy, his right-hand man, Rich Baird. We were digging all around. We were kicking up the dirt. We were doing so as carefully and as quietly as we could while still getting what we needed. But it was scary. We were half jokingly looking for bombs under the cars before we would drive, but only half jokingly. It was scary. And even though we didn't announce it, these people have ways of knowing everything that's happening.
And when Anthony, the viewer, who is a web developer, reached out to us, he said to us, I've seen a lot of website hacks that, there's just hackers on the internet and websites randomly get hacked. I have not seen something like this, which seems very intentional and malicious. I mean, I don't know the tech jargon, but there was well over 100 malware and viruses in the back end of our website. And that's not a random hack, that it was intentional. And the origin of it was October 2019 when Jen and I were digging in Flint. So, for legal reasons, we want to be clear, we don't have firm evidence that it was Governor Snyder or his people or anyone, that we would be investigating for the Flint water crisis. But we were in Flint in October 2019, and a web developer said, not 90%, 110%. We were hacked. We were maliciously hacked. It's intentional. Our website was specifically targeted, and there was well over 100, I don't know the term, Jen, malware or viruses within our system. And as a result, I want to show you the ugly numbers.
The number on the left is where we were at in March. We decided, let's go back and let's look at the last primary we covered. This was before coronavirus was even in the news, because we had grown so many paid members from our campaign coverage. So we were on the road. I was in Iowa. I was in New Hampshire, South Carolina. Jen was in Nevada. Jen was in Michigan. I was in California. We grew, I think, like 600 paid members as a result of our campaign coverage. So the last primary we covered was in Michigan, and that's the number on the left that we were at, 1,862. That on the right is the number we're at now. And I also want to show you, by the way, this is from March to now. But I want to show you the acceleration that has happened, like, recently. The acceleration, this number here, 1,686, that's what we were at when we were in Philadelphia a week ago. Like a week and a half ago, we were at 1,686. So in a little over a week, but when we were there for the election and the chaos of counting the votes and the Trump voters, we were almost at 1,700 members. Today, we're at 1,523 members. You don't lose 150 members in a week. That just doesn't happen. If there was a big scandal with Status Coup, maybe people would leave. We've lost 150 members literally in a week and a half. And again, this is how many members we've lost since March. So we're still working very hard. Well, when I say we, really Anthony is working to figure out what caused what. Did the hack of our website and the viruses that were put in to our website, is that causing, because we do have evidence that members have been canceled against their will. When I say canceled, I mean their payments didn't go through, or things like that. Obviously we have lost members just from basic people canceling, but not 450 members. To be clear, and then I want Jen to explain it, your financial information has not gone anywhere. We were assured that by the web developer. So your credit card payment, your private information was not stolen or anything like that. But we do have evidence that the hack has led to, we don't know exactly because we're literally digging into this every day, starting to dig into it, and it's literally on an individual member case. You have to look at each member. But we have reason to think the virus has caused a lot of these memberships to be canceled. Hope you enjoyed that last video. Hop on over to statuscoup.com where you can sign up for our email list and become a member for as low as $5 to $10 a month. Membership is how we grow. That's statuscoup.com/join. And remember, join our email list so we can grow the revolution with you.